Hello YouTube, how are you today? I am fine, thank you. It is I, Vidarr. Today on our... What? The playlist is the beginner's guide. It will be a quick stream, and since it's a story-based game where there's narration, or at least there should be, unless something has happened to it during these last few years, I have not called Aina to our stream today. Because I feel like, well, I probably don't have time to chat with Aina, and Aina would probably interrupt the narrations on this game. So, we are going without Aina today. But yeah, this picture shows my schedule for this week. So, on Tuesday we will be playing Apex. Thursday will be Company of Heroes 3. For some reason I didn't put the game names on those thumbnails. Not sure what kind of brain fart happened to me when I made those thumbnails. But oh well. On Saturday we will be playing Cave Story Plus, and on Sunday we are building our home in Valheim. Getting those coppers and tin if needed. Well, probably at least some amount, but not as much as copper. If there's still time after I have all the coppers that I need, not sure what we will be doing after that, maybe boss even, but that will be seen on Sunday. Anyway, we should head to the game itself. The beginner's guide. Did I already put this on? Oh well, I guess it can be. Full captions, that's the important part. Please make sure audio is on. Yes, it is. Oh yeah, and I decreased slightly my microphone
Hi
volume.
there. Thank you very much for playing the Beginner's Guide.
Thank you.
My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote The Stanley Parable.
Hello, Davey.
And while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011. We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda. Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk around here, by the way. And mostly it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment. But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, He then
Maybe I
scatters
should-
these colorful abstract
God.
blobs and impossible floating crates around the level. And of course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed
Yeah,
by
maybe
a
I
real
should
person.
use
And it kind of makes you wonder,
keyboard and
what was going through his
mouse
head as he
instead.
was building this? This is what I like about all of Coda's
Yeah, let's do that.
I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator. I want us to see past the games themselves. I want to get to know who this human being really is. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. So, it's 2008, Coda starts
Yes.
making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever. And I
That
think he
sounds
really
similar.
understood this image of himself as a recluse.
Familiar.
At one point, he jokingly renamed his
Well, I
computer's
haven't
recycling
made any
bin
games,
to
but still.
Important Games folder. So, you know, this was
Other
just how he
things.
worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day, he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since. And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again. And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda. So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveyWreden@gmail.com. Okay,
That
that's
I
about
will
it
not
for
do.
introduction. Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game. As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
A white room. Oh my god!
Shift destruction imminent.
Evacuate immediately.
This game is called Escape from Whisper, and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
Left or right? Damn it, I need Aina's opinion right now. Yeah, let's go right. Well, looks like it didn't matter.
Security call breached. Hostile alien life forms inbound.
Oh my goodness.
It kinda looks like this game was abandoned mid-development. For
Yes.
instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere, but then clearly there are no enemies anywhere. You can't even reload the gun when you run out of
Oh
bullets.
my god.
But ultimately we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
Enemy force neutralized.
I love how you can see the bottom of the universe from this room.
True. Open any doors, maybe? Oh, okay. Nothing in here. No secret doors.
Apparently this space station has a labyrinth on it. Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, this is the part that's interesting. The game has this narrative about the whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
Hey, you there, in the engine room. You could save us all. That beam is powering the whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If your body could stop the beam. It's so much to ask, but for all of our lives, would you do it? Could you give yourself?
That's a lot to ask, you know?
Let me pause here for a second. What you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level. But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And
Yes,
this is what
there's
happens
always bugs.
instead.
Of course, of course. Oh, hello, Mace.
The beam causes you to start floating. And this is an important moment for him. Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it, like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
I feel like if this is a real story, this Coda, then I really wish he had not stopped making games, even though...
Yep, in this game you can only walk backwards.
Even though the first years may have been not that great.
So it's a short and relatively minimalist experiment combining motion and narrative. It is less
The first
advanced
ones
than the
never
previous
are
game, but actually
great.
it seems to be more focused, more complete. Coda's trying to give it a unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
Like this. This is... Even though you can only go backwards, this is, in my opinion, great. It's a lot different than pretty much every game that has been released. Well, at least most of them.
It's a short little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that. Which to me is why it works, because it gets out quick. Okay, next one.
Next one. And he clearly has resources to do games. And skill. You are now entering. What am I entering?
And that's it. Okay,
Oh,
the meaning
okay.
of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting. Oftentimes, Coda would put bizarre titles like this one at the start of his games. I wish I'd known him at the time that he was making these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, like, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do? Once you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens. So why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself.
Oh, actually, something almost happened there. Lots of texts. You are a gate. Yeah, I'm not reading all of these.
A room that's warm and nice and filled with little ideas for games.
Stranger appears.
Coda would often tell me that he didn't mind if people thought of him as cold or distant. He said that he knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate person, but that it takes time to really see that. It can be a very slow climb to get there.
I wonder how long these took. Or this Coda person made these games. Whoever that Coda is. Is it the creator of... No. Well, maybe. Creator of Stanley Parable and he is speaking about Coda that used to be his nickname or something, I don't know. But oh well, no use figuring that out.
Well, this is new for Coda. It's an actual puzzle. Go ahead and see if you can solve it.
Wow, black mist. Okay. Not sure if that is a bug or not, but that happened. Now how am I supposed to open that door? No? Okay. Still no? No. Yeah, we are stuck.
Alright, let me just walk you through it. You're gonna hit the switch on the outside to open the door, then hit the same switch and walk through the door before it closes. You'll see a second switch on the inside, which will open the second door.
Oh, okay.
Don't forget that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon. We're gonna see it a lot.
That was a weird puzzle. But okay.
So that seems to be it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve a puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough. Alright, now I'm going to modify the game again so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
Okay. Lots of rooms, it seems. And corridors.
How about that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing. I actually find it funny that this game comes after the Stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So, in the Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world. Either way, I think that the point is the same. is that most of the time you don't get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player. So if your role here is not to understand, then what is it?
January 2009. We are back here. What am I entering now? Oh, I'm exiting.
Aha! So, this, combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
March 2009. The Great and Lovely Descent. Let's say good looking
Let's talk about
building.
video game development for a second. Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do. So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development. To make all of these games, Coda is using an engine called Source. Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors. That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well. The tools available to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games, to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
Jump! Okay. Oh, barely made it. So this is going to take a few seconds to get to the end, I believe. Oh! Was I supposed to jump here or somewhere else? Well, we're going this way. Luckily there's no fall damage, it seems. We are at the bottom. Now what's in here? Oh, come on, let me in. I guess I'm not going there. So, okay, I'm now a cow. Or is this jail? Well, it kinda looks like a jail.
This prison, funny enough, in Coda's original design, the door stayed shut for a full hour before letting you go. If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that.
Yeah, let's skip that. No, I want
This is
somewhere
something
else.
that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable. whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always defend that, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else. Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere. There wasn't.
There wasn't. Yeah, an hour is slightly too much. Can I drop from here? No, I can't. Okay.
It's the puzzle again.
Hello?
With the exact same solution as the last time.
Why is there no hole in that?
There's still no clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But I promise I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly.
Listen. Oh yeah. I tried the Discord sound board thing. Actually, can I? How can I? Okay, it's not working. Or then I'm using wrong shortcuts. Oh well. I mean, keypadding. Do that!
Here, Coda begins using a kind of dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities. Use the 1, 2, 3 buttons on your keyboard to respond.
You've been there. One or three? Let's go with one. Perfect. Someone else let me in. Yeah, let's go with one again. How to reach the end? Well, I'm out of here. That was quick. That was quick as well. Black space. black space between doors.
And so we make one last descent down to the final floor of the level.
That was nothing, I guess. Or is it this one? Hello there.
It's
Not
a
sure why
lamppost.
you are on.
Okay, I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason, Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out. I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something. He wants a destination, which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination. We're going to see it in the work as well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
Yes. April 2009. This game is connected to the internet. As you walk around, you can leave notes. All notes you see are left by other players. The server is probably offline already. Nice room. Nah.
So first off, I'm sure you can deduce this, but this game is not connected to the internet. All of the notes that you're going to see have been written by Coda. This was actually the first game of his that I ever played. This was shortly after I met him at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up. I saw him working on this very level, and it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like, I have to be friends with this person. In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy, trying to get his attention. I was over-enthusiastic. But he was very gracious about it and very patient with me.
Whoa, holy shit.
And I cooled off eventually.
Can you guys hear me? Hello? I want to leave a note as well.
Feel free to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing extra is going to happen if you read all of them. Either way, to me they convey a sense of loneliness. I see this person who's filled with thoughts and feelings and beliefs and has no way to express them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to be played.
Oh!
But it's ironic, isn't it? That in playing this game and seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him. And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me. That I could just play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the messy in-person socializing. I could just get to know you through your work. I think this is why I always liked Coda's games so much, is because it felt like they let me have that connection. I felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world. And then I feel less lonely too.
We... Stop pretending you are other people. It's about how this game is pretentious and you all suck. Spoilers. it doesn't mean anything. Devil Tower Star. He was himself the most horrible creature he could imagine. Okay, let's continue. But yeah, if he really
At the end of this level,
came
we're
up
going to
with
see the
this
puzzle.
idea in
And here, I'll
2009,
tell you what I think the puzzle means.
good job.
Each of these games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one. In each of his games, after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult, Coda can then place this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on. And because there's this dark area between the doors, a space between spaces, before you move on, you get to pause. Just for a moment, a few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here. To step back and connect the pieces together. To grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
Just press. How do you leave notes? Indeed. Ei läppä. Say something. Speak. You're crazy. Crazy man. May to June. 09.
Okay, this one is tough. It's gonna kind of just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
Some pictures.
See, this is it. The whole game. And there's nothing that's particularly interesting about it. You just walk to the end of a hallway. Except, for some reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison that has all of this modern furniture. And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
Version 2. Giant hole in the ground. Center of the room. I believe it means this one. But yeah, why not? TV. That's not TV. Along the wall of the room. Yeah, washing machine. Okay. That's your washing machine. Light up this room a bit. Yeah, we put Tesla coils. That's not exactly Tesla coil. Who are you? Where exactly are you doing this from? Yeah, 2.
there's a bit more to this one, but still it's not really communicating anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake. So okay, he throws it out and starts over. This time he comes at the prison idea from a different direction.
Please walk forward. Okay. Click on this table. Okay. Good. Photo frame. And click it. Where is it? It's there. Oh, on and off. Left side sofa. Move it over a bit. Touch the shelves. That's it. Okay. Return to start. I guess we will be going back.
And of course, now the table is gone and you can't begin the chain of events to escape. Here's a version where there are no bars, but you can't actually get to the well. And then a version where the inside of the prison is the outside and the outside is the inside. Let me just blink you real quick through a few more of these. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly a dozen of them. Personally, I think it's awful to watch this, to see a person basically unraveling through their work. And for what? Like, at what point do you just go, maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I could be working on? But Coda doesn't have that voice telling you to stop, that particular mechanism of defense against yourself. Without it, you just spiral. And so he keeps going and going and going and going and going, and then he hits on something. And he likes it. And that's it. He's done. He stops making prisons. This is the very last version of the prison game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
Just a lamppost. Still can't run. Okay. Ring ring. Ring ring. Banana phone. Who is this? It's me. I'm you from after you escaped prison. You're me?
It's a conversation. And so this is what Coda wants, is to be able to talk to someone, to share what's on his mind, and to get some good advice from someone who knows. But the irony is that even in this scenario, you're still talking to yourself. You know, all of these games so far are Coda talking to himself.
Let's go with one as well. Let's go with two. Let's go with three. Which one should I answer? it doesn't really matter. Let's go with 1. Yeah, 1 is the best choice. How does that work? One is the best. Beep.
I can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion to the prison games. After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that
Oh my
things
God.
are going to be okay.
Almost flipped there.
Wouldn't that be nice? So what would it look like if Coda wanted to make a game about talking to someone other than himself?
Let's go back inside. It's cold. It's cold! I don't like this.
To me, this environment is meant to represent Coda's puzzle, with the 2 doors on either side and a dark transitional space between.
Close the door. Thank you. This is nice. This is not nice. Clean. Now you had guests.
You'll notice that the quality of the art is a step up from previous games, including this new and improved chat system, which he started using from this point on. From here on out, he begins putting much more effort into the visual polish of his work, and this particular game took 2 months to create as a result.
Yeah, the visuals are nice. Well, the visuals before were, in my opinion, okay as well. Make the bed. That's my bed. Yes, yes. Well. Yada 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 yada. Go on, go on. Oh, couch. Okay. Incredible cheesy personal insight. Okay, well, 1 it is. No. Oh my god, this is the most annoying thing in the world. Sadly, in real world, it doesn't happen that fast. Tub needs cleaning. Where is our tub? Oh, in here. Books. Okay. Perfect.
After the intense set of prison games, this house cleaning level almost feels like cleansing. It's the moment after a particularly difficult or traumatic experience where you just need to let it sit and digest inside of you, and eventually cohere into something meaningful.
Do these chores never end? Trust me on this one.
I know that Coda really liked this game. Of all of his work, actually, this was the only one that he called me up to ask me to come over and look at it. This was during a period of a few months where he was like grossly happy all the time.
Oh
Just
my God.
walked around with a constant smile on his face.
Why don't you do anything? So, what should we answer? One. It's still the best. Anyway, so housekeeping. Let's keep doing this. Oh God. Books. Why don't you do anything? God damn it. It's always like this. It's always me cleaning up.
I'm glad he made this. I'm glad he found some
I'm
peace.
not glad. Next one is your job. Question.
But,
Ooh,
of
Angel.
course,
Oh,
it
hell
can't
no.
last. The music stops, your companion is gone, it's time to leave. The door at the
God.
top of the hill is now open as well. Again, you can't stay in the dark space for too long. You just can't. You have to keep moving. It's how you stay alive.
Staying alive, staying alive. Lots of windows in that home. Hello, lamppost.
Which is the whole point of the puzzle doors, right? That sooner or later you have to pick up and move.
That's
I really thought that was the point of it.
weird. 3 September 09. Items
This
you love
one gets a
at
bit
members
goofy.
only places. Was it? Why did you come here today? Was it to improve your life? Was it to get a better job? Yada yada yada. Came here to become perfect. Yes. Perfection is within your grasp. It is so easy. It is so
About halfway
easy.
through the game, the perspective shifts.
Okay.
And you play as the teacher. And suddenly, you discover that your teacher is just as bigoted and afraid as you are. Oh, and also you can move around the classroom now.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. This is effortless. But what happens if I keep selecting those grades? Texts. What if I'm not a good teacher? Everyone, run! Run!
I fell pretty hard for this one. I
Perfect.
feel like it's one of the most relatable experiences that you can have. To assume that some other person is perfect and totally fulfilled in every way, and completely miss all of the little flaws that make them painfully human. I think about this game a lot these days.
January 2010. So,
This one
Yeah,
took a
close
lot
to
longer
2
than all the
years.
others for Coda to make. It was 4 months between this and the last one. That's twice as long as it took him to make any other game before this, and it's not like it's particularly complex,
States.
so I remember I found that a little
States.
strange at the time.
Can we perhaps climb up? No, we cannot. Okay, that's fine. Lights! Thank you. Places, please. La 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 la. Good. Stay right there. Say something to her. Where is the bathroom? Do it again. I like you. Well, why not? Bing, bong, bing, bong, bing, bong. Happy. Okay, let's go with 3. You're messing it all up again. Everything was riding on this. I want to try something. Okay, I guess this is the end of this game. Or this map, or scenario, or whatever this is. Am I supposed to go all the way there? Okay, I'm in prison. But at least I have this lamppost. I guess that's where we will go. Oh, okay.
The game ends with this eerie premonition of what's going to happen next in Coda's life. The solution to social anxiety, to fears of having to perform and having to chase success, the answer for Coda is to withdraw, to hide himself away. Which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games ago, where it just becomes harder and harder to access Coda's inner landscape because he keeps retreating. He just keeps backing away from possible connections to anyone other than himself. And to be honest, I didn't consider it very healthy when I first played this game. You know, it looked to me like he was trying to justify the idea of just disconnecting yourself from the world. And that wasn't what I wanted for him or for his games. Because I feel like a lot of his games are inviting me to connect with this person, to bring him closer. But what can you do?
Yeah.
After this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to make a new game.
June 2010, Mobius Strip. To play this game properly, you must keep your eyes closed. What? Click to begin the game. I'm not keeping my eyes closed. What's going on? Captain, what can we do? Help, I'm blind! Blind. SS Whisper. Okay. Oh, hello. There's a door coming. Crash! Oh, am I supposed to do something?
You should probably open your eyes if you haven't already. It's pretty much impossible to solve otherwise. And there is a solution, by the way.
Yeah, let's get out of here. Truth. That isn't truthful. Oh well. What's going on? Yeah, we have to play as Coda. Yes, that's it.
Like I
That's
said,
the
I was
truth.
getting concerned. First off, he's never been this explicit in his work about exactly what he's thinking. So where's that coming from? But then even weirder, his work has potentially stopped being an outlet for him. Not like he's having trouble iterating on ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas anymore. And in person, he was being a lot more distant than usual. Like, you know how sometimes a person will just deflect anything that you say in order to keep themselves disconnected all the time? It was that kind of thing. Here was the point in my relationship with Coda where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way. His games are going to get more desperate from here on out. After this game, it's almost 6 months before he finishes something new.
December 2010. What is this? Ah, this is nice. Okay. Is that the person? How lovely. Let's go with that one. Oh no. One. Can't jump off a cliff, it seems. It isn't far. What? Maybe I should
If the
have
last game featured Coda
read
talking
the other
explicitly
choices
about
as
his
well.
creative frustrations, this one turns it up to 11. Now, put yourself in my shoes playing this. Here's a friend whose work is exhibiting signs of struggle, frustration, anxiety, depression, even. And yet, still, he keeps making games. He keeps throwing himself into the grinder even when he clearly doesn't have the energy
Okay,
for it
Steve.
anymore. Why? What is it for?
Hello? Perfect.
Because from my perspective at the time and just what I knew of him, this was a result of how isolated he was. He was in his own little bubble, just sitting at his computer all day, not really showing these games to anyone, not releasing them onto the internet, and so he didn't have anyone outside of himself to connect with. He had no outlet to ground himself on.
Okay, now what? Now you have to close the first door. Alright, what's next? Now just press the switch here. Ha! That
You
was so
can't
simple.
talk yourself out of loneliness. It doesn't work that way. You can't be the one writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement.
What is
Then
this?
there's no circulation. If all of your anxieties are being
Can I go
channeled
back?
into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have no backup and you're just going to crash.
There's no machine in here. Trust me, you will see. These are my answers, aren't they? Let's go with one. Okay. But it wasn't true. Just keep talking. Let's go with just one.
Seeing this game at the time that he made it, it looked really unhealthy to me. I was watching him do this to himself, and I hated it. I hated seeing him so trapped. It's like, video games are not worth this amount of suffering.
Let's go with one, because one is one.
This is someone I really cared about. And I used to get so much joy out of seeing him
I'm
create.
going to vomit.
For him to suddenly become angry and frustrated.
Where is the
like
machine?
this, it was the worst thing for me.
Patience, you have to trust me. Please continue. Let's choose two. Yes, more. Keep
I don't know.
going.
This is what I felt at the time. I don't know how else to explain it. I wanted it to stop more than anything. I had never felt so rotten. I needed more than I had ever needed anything for this to stop.
Hello, girl.
But it didn't stop. After
Maybe
finishing
Coda
this one,
is.
Coda
is
takes another 7 months and comes up
female.
with a new game.
a woman instead of a man. The machine. God. We have captured the machine. Yes, let's be quick. Someone called the press. Okay. Moving on. Why is there so much press in here? Is this Coda?
And of course,
No.
it's the machine.
with 3. Let's go with 3. Go with 1. No, nothing. I have seen the things you fear, but let's go with 1. Alright then, I will speak to them for you. Hello, press. It is I. My followers. It falls on me to deliver this bad news. Yes, let's go with that. The machine will not apologize to us. The machine refuses to admit that it deliberately hurt us. Let's go with 1 once again. This is not important. We are stronger than it thinks we are. Yes. Let's go with 1 once again. Let us pay it retribution. Let us show it that we are not failures. That's better. Follow me, we will destroy the machine. Follow me, we will destroy everything that the machine has created. Let's just destroy the machine. Let's go, everyone! Okay, it was a trap. Oh. Oh! I'll make sure you are known forever.
So now the work is becoming self-destructive. And I'll tell you, at the time that I first played this game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that Code is stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people, to get some actual feedback on his games. It might get him out of isolation.
Oh.
And so, as I'm thinking this, I realize that I could be the one to initiate it. Because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback, so what if I did it for it? If he could see the difference it would make to have more actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral? Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work?
Destroy everything! Why is that not changing to white? Oh, okay.
So I started showing Coda's work to people. I took this one, and the islands which you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to
Maybe
people
that
that I
was
knew
supposed to
and
happen.
trusted. I asked their opinions. And the great part is that they really loved his games. You know, the point of it all was just to give him some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of.
put down your weapon. Okay, I can shoot.
Can you see why I felt like this was the right thing to do? Because it's the thing that I always feel like I need, to be told that my work is good, that I am good. When someone really connects with a thing that I've made, when they see themselves purely in my work, there's nothing that feels better. And I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something... I really felt like I'd done something good, like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it. If I could give him this gift, maybe I could fix the problem.
Maybe.
When they told me how much they enjoyed his games, it was the best feeling. It was the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy. So beautifully, beautifully happy.
What's next?
So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while. So this is June of 2011, and I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess.
So, about 3 years?
And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower, and to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made. So let's take a look.
Tower. June 2011.
And this is where I have trouble saying anything meaningful about Coda's work. Because more than anything else, the tower just feels distant. It feels like it's trying to distance itself from the world. It's a very cold game. This room actually has a maze in it.
Oh, okay.
Except that all the walls of the maze are invisible. And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise. So the experience is really miserable. The game goes beyond not being meant to be played. It actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all. But I do want to show you the rest of the levels, so when you're ready to continue, press enter and I'll put a bridge over the maze.
Thank you. Yeah, I was never going to clear that maze. Wall. 128.128.
And to be fair, it's not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable. Like the house cleaning game. You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house forever. I had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end. But that game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate. What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze? The only way past this challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code. Like the invisible maze, it's frustrating to me, because it's the opposite of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement. It doesn't ask anything of me except a lot of my time.
No? Okay.
If I could have reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is here. I'll put the code on the ground for you here, though, so that we can move on.
15, 16, 17, okay. Oh, goddammit. Yep. Oh, there. I guess I have to just jump down.
The switch to open this door is actually on the other side of the door,
Oh
meaning
my
that
God.
it's literally impossible to solve from this side. So even if you somehow brute forced your way through the first 2 challenges and you got to this point, there's actually just no way to progress. And it's scary for me, the idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely, just saying, you know, that's it, that's the end of the conversation, not giving me any way to fix the problem. I feel like a failure, I guess, when I can't fix the problem. But I can open this door for you, so let me do that.
Thank you.
Was I a
Let's get it
failure
open.
for not understanding this game?
Nope.
I don't know why I would be. It's not like everything needs to have a solution, but I feel it somehow. I feel like I failed, and I don't understand why. I remember, it's June of 2011. I'm playing this for the very first time, and as I'm playing, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person. I have no idea who this person is. It wasn't the guy I knew, it wasn't my friend. I had come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly
Well,
none
if
of
you
them...
have only known
I had been
him
trying to, though. That was the thing.
2 to 3
For
years.
years, I was trying to get to know him, to understand who he
I
actually
couldn't
was
say
and what he
that
stood
you
for. I asked
know
him
him
so
yet.
many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him. I asked
Maybe
him please to tell
most
me what the
parts,
3
but
dots
not
mean. And he wouldn't.
completely.
I just felt so strongly that if I could have connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy. It was that I needed to see myself in someone else. I needed to be someone other than me. But he stopped and left, and it felt somehow like I had failed. Where did I screw up?
I don't know. Did you even screw up? Dear Davy.
I'm the reason that you stopped making games, aren't I? It's because of what I did. I poisoned
Well,
it for
that
you.
would be. If you made his games look like your games by saying that you need to do this and that, then in the end they are not his games but your games.
I don't think I ever told you this, but when I took your work and I was showing it to people, it actually felt... It felt as though I were responsible for something important and valuable. And the people who played them, they treated me like I was important. They really
Keep that
listened
between
and
games.
cared about what I had to say. Even though I was showing your work, it was... I felt good about myself. Finally. For a moment, while I had that, I liked myself.
Stop adding lamppost to them. So, whose idea was it? The lamppost.
And then you stopped. And I didn't have anything left to show people. I just had to be with myself. And as soon as that happened, there was no
Physically
feeling at
ill.
all. Nothing. Less than nothing. What does that mean?
Okay. Okay. Probably not, which is fine. Yes.
I'm afraid that I did something really stupid because I don't like myself.
Don't say anything. Oh yeah. Okay, well.
That's why I'm releasing this collection of your work, is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried everything. And so a part of me has hope that if I put this compilation out into the world, and if I put my name on it, that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. If I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again? Please, I need to feel okay with myself again. And I always felt okay as long as I had your work to see myself in. I mean, is something wrong with me? Because I know that I did an awful thing, and I'm doing it again right now. Like, I'm showing people your work, but I can't stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to feel something again, like I'm an addict. There has to be something wrong with me. Can I apologize? What if I tell you I was wrong? Will that work? Will that fix it? I don't know. I don't think it will, but there's nothing else that I can do. Just tell me what you want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please, start making games again. Please help me. Please give me some of whatever it is that makes you complete. I want whatever that wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing and you put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was. I want to know I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please. I'm fading, and all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay.
Alright. Epilogue. Where are we? There's a open door. That's good news.
More love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more. It's like a disease.
So, I can get in from there. Now departing London or somewhere, I don't know. These are really nice looking chairs. I kinda wish the chairs nowadays in trains were something like this. Maybe not exactly like this, but something like it.
Solution.
Oh, I have arrived. Can I go back? That looks like it has been closed. No, it has not been. But okay, I can go back.
I guess if someone had told me ahead of time that he just really enjoyed making prison games, maybe I wouldn't have thought he was so desperate. I wouldn't have told so many people that he was depressed. Maybe he just likes making prisons.
Maybe.
Even
use some
now, the
furniture.
disease is telling me to stop. Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you.
This place needs some cleaning. The end is near. Maybe.
If I knew that my life depended on finding something to be driven by other than validation, what would that even be? It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive of what that would be like.
Why not? This looks like the correct. No? They all are. Okay.
What now?
What do you want?
I think I need to go.
You do?
And I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot that I need to make up for, and so I'm just gonna...
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So, what's next? Are we coming back to game 1? That was a lot similar to a certain FPS game map that I don't know how to play because there's no iron scopes available in that game. There's a hole. Yeah, let's jump down the hole. And the door is way up there. Oh, but we are getting up. That's good. Does it stop? Yes, it does. And we are back in a railway station or something. These are some huge stairs. Is that a beam? Will it beam me up? And will there be Scotty? What was that? No thunder clouds outside. No cumulonimbus outside. Okay, let's die. Or maybe not. Let's beam up. Okay. It's a maze. what's the lighter side. Actually, let's watch every side. Am I supposed to do something? Just waiting, okay? We can do that. Why are there clouds like that? Well, why not, actually?
Turn back.
For R. Dot.
Turn back from this cave.
Okay.
You said, let me prove that I'm brave. Let me keep going. But the cave goes for
Turn back.
miles and miles and miles.
Okay.
And you're so
Additional
tired.
thanks. Yeah, this was quite
know that you're strong.
a short one. But it was
Turn
nice nonetheless, at least in my opinion.
turn back.
Okay, that was the beginner's guide. October 2009 to June 2011. Wait, October 2008, not 9. So, that's 2.5 years. And something happened during that time, which is a mystery to us. We can only guess what happened. If this is a real story, that is. Anyway, that was the beginner's guide. I might be streaming something else after this, because it was so quick. Something like War Thunder. Well, if I am streaming something, it will be more than likely War Thunder. Actually, let's check when was the last time I streamed it. Oh, it was 7 days ago, so that's not even that long time ago. But yeah, regardless if I am streaming War Thunder after this, well, it would probably be in 18 minutes, maybe. But then again, I need to make a thumbnail. That takes extra 5 minutes at least. Well, at least 18 minutes. So that would be Let's check. That would be... What? This is incorrect. Alright. So it would be 11 UTC. I believe. But yeah. Tomorrow there will be Apex stream. On Thursday, Combat Heroes 3 stream. Saturday will be Cave Story Plus stream. And Sunday will be Valheim stream. And with that, thank you for watching. Hopefully we will see each other at a later time. But for now, bye bye. See you maybe soon. And the music is ending in 10 seconds. So, goodbye. Not goodbye, but bye bye.